In every economy, three roles always emerge. One group collects, one group works, and one group loses leverage over time. The outcomes aren't a matter of luck or chance. They're designed by whoever controls the assets, the access, and the rules of the game. So what's really happening here? Why does it feel like some people are playing on easy mode while everyone else is stuck on a treadmill? It's because modern economies increasingly reward rent extraction over genuine value creation. A rentier isn't the person who builds the house. They're the one who owns the land it's built on and collects rent forever. They don't build the system. They own the gate. When control over key assets, platforms, or access points is concentrated in just a few hands, value naturally flows to those who can collect these rents. Meanwhile, the builders, the creators, and the workers are all left competing for a smaller and smaller piece of the pie. This dynamic isn't just theoretical. It's shaping markets, careers, and entire industries right now. Understanding where you sit in this structure is the critical difference between building, compounding leverage for yourself, and falling into a state of permanent dependency on someone else's system. So let's break down how this works. First, let's get clear on the rentier. Rentiers control access, not production. They make their money by owning the choke points in the system. Think about platforms like app stores that collect a fee from every single developer, or online marketplaces that take a percentage of every transaction. They don't have to be the best producers. They just need to control the gate that everyone else has to pass through. They monetize ownership of these choke points, whether it's real estate, intellectual property, or financial infrastructure. Their power doesn't come from making a better product, but from owning the road everyone has to travel on. Now let's talk about the builders. These are the people who create actual value. They design incredible products, they write brilliant code, they create content that captures our attention. They are the engines of innovation. But here's the trap: without control over distribution, or ownership of the platform their work lives on, they become dependent suppliers. Think about a content creator who is entirely reliant on a platform's ever-changing algorithm to reach their audience, or a startup that builds its entire business on an API only to have the terms change overnight, crippling their model. The lesson here is stark. Value is created at the edge of the network, but leverage and profit are captured at the center. Next up, we have the workers. In this structure, workers are the ones who absorb the volatility and the downside. They trade their time for income, which sounds straightforward, but they bear the brunt of the risk when the system changes. When margins get tight for a company or a platform decides to change its rules, who feels it first? It's the gig workers who see their rates get cut without warning. It's the contractors who are exposed to sudden swings in demand. They don't have any control over pricing, access, or the policies that govern their work. So, when the economic weather shifts, they are the ones left standing in the rain, absorbing the shock for the entire system. This rentier structure isn't some fringe concept. It's deeply embedded in the DNA of most modern platforms. In fact, you could say platforms naturally evolve toward rent extraction. It's a predictable pattern. Once a platform achieves strong network effects, meaning everyone is on it because everyone else is on it, that control becomes incredibly easy to monetize. You see it happen all the time. Marketplaces start out with low fees to attract sellers, but once they dominate, those fees start creeping up. Infrastructure providers like cloud services steadily increase their take rates over time. Platforms begin to prioritize their own products over those of third-party sellers. This isn't necessarily a moral failure on their part. It's just structural behavior. It's the logical outcome when you combine concentrated control with the incentive to maximize profit. The system is designed to behave this way. So, what's the takeaway for you as an operator, a creator, or an entrepreneur? It's time to run a position audit on yourself and your business. Ask yourself, where am I paying rent right now? This could be platform fees, access costs, or a hidden platform tax. What are the choke points that shape my economic reality? How dependent am I on assets, platforms, or distribution channels that I don't actually control? And most importantly, where can I start moving closer to owning the gates or the channels myself? The actionable step here is to actively reduce your dependency on any single gatekeeper. Your mission is to build or acquire at least one channel, one asset, or one distribution path that you fully own and control. This could be an email list, a direct-to-consumer website, or a unique piece of intellectual property. The fundamental rule is this: if you don't control the gate, you will always pay the toll. And in the long term, those tolls compound against you, draining your value and limiting your potential. In our next video, we're going to dive into how to design leverage positions specifically within these rent-seeking systems. If you're tired of paying tolls and want to start capturing leverage for yourself, make sure you watch the next video. That's where we turn this understanding into a strategic action plan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.